Hi, everybody. Recruiting Animal here on December 11th, 2024. But Donna is here, and she's very busy, okay? And she did an onboarding this morning because she's not just a recruiter, she's an in-house HR person. Now, here's something now that Tommy just joined. You know, him and Rich are always talking about building relationships with companies, and they got niches where they're known in those niches, especially Tom, okay, in that case. Now, if you were to go on your own, or even you, for now you're working in an HR position, do you try to build a personal brand that has a cult following? Do you think that? No, I believe it.
I know. I mean, like, it's just funny.
Rich is a cult in this show. I mean, there's a cult of Rich, okay?
I know what you mean.
You've told me before.
No, there is. Yes, and yes. It's important, and I am working more and more because it brings candidates to me.
So if I see those, you post regularly then about candidates and stuff in your industry, and what is the cult of Donna? Can you articulate it? I mean, why would I worship at your feet? I love Donna, man. I love her. Oh, there's one of her postings. Yes, Donna. I don't
know.
Okay?
That's a good
that song. Whenever I think of her, I sing the songs. Every Donna song I know.
Nice. I appreciate that. That's weird, but thank you.
That's what you want, Donna. That's what you want. That's what I'm saying. Okay.
I need to think that through more clearly, because it's really something I feel like I'm just starting. I know that when I work with candidates, they like my openness, they like my transparency, they like my friendliness, they like my follow through. So how to relate all that and be relatable. I don't know.
You should put a post in. Why do you want to deal with me? And you should stay though. Those are the things people tell me they like about me.
Okay.
Not only that. I think you're a person, like I was reading about, I think I might have it here. And Craig Fisher told us when he was here, you're a person who should be sharing stuff about your hobby. Donna's a very good singer, everybody. Okay. I know, because she sent me some files. She is a good singer. Okay. She's got a nice family. You should be posting about that on LinkedIn.
You think
every now and again. Oh yeah, about 20% of your postings personal stuff, because it's nice. You got nice kids. You know, even that story. I followed the story. You know, I didn't comment, but I followed the story about.
I will put stuff about the kids from time to time, but I don't really put anything personal because I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of pushback on that. But you think it's still good?
Oh, okay.
You think it's good?
Tom, are you awake? Are you still here, Tom? Are you here?
I'm here.
Well,
tell us about that.
Again? Is your camera still not working?
No, I was taking a shower.
Oh, okay. No, don't
leave it off. Leave it off.
Don't show us. But I think Donna, did you follow the epic journey she took to rescue her daughter in Eastern Europe, or actually in the Balkans?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, that was a great story. Okay, I think she should have been posting that on LinkedIn so her professional audience would get to know her. I liked her, okay, or during that, and she liked everybody there, and she was diverse. It was people in Serbia and Kosovo and Switzerland that she met. It was a great story, okay?
Macedonia, not Serbia.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I might be banned from Serbia because I have a Kosovo stamp.
And there was a bit of excitement too, like with crossing the border. She had some problems. I think there's something in there for you. Your family life is kind of fun and interesting. Plus, the singing. Plus the singing. Okay.
Well, I might start with a band. I might be starting with a band in January. So
it's irrelevant. You can sing without a band.
No, I'm saying I can post that.
Yeah, you can. Or you told me you were building a studio in your home.
Yeah, I haven't.
Okay,
I could,
that's
but
the
I
kind
haven't.
of stuff I'm talking about. You've got ammo. You've got okay, I would leave out the religion part. I'm going to be honest, okay?
The singing recruiter. I used to do that. Listen, when I was agency recruiter, and I would get so bored leaving voicemail from voicemail to voicemail, and I started singing stuff to people. Like I'd make up stuff about their names, because it would just I would get so bored.
Tell that story, Donna. You've got a lot of ammo. I don't have nothing.
Okay.
I think the Recruiting Animal show is good. Nobody else does. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and I post it regularly. So I know, but I think she's good. Now, Tom, we're going to shift over gears.
Yes.
Real quick. Unpopular
Why, you gotta
opinion. No. Real quick, I'll say unpopular opinion. LinkedIn is not social media. It's okay to occasionally do it, but people turning LinkedIn to Facebook, it drives me insane.
That's what I'm hearing a lot. That's why I've stayed away from it.
No, she's not. I'm telling her to post everything, or you should start up then an Instagram, because Craig does Instagram too. Okay. Mm-hmm. But we've got some, I don't know if you were here in the early, no, you weren't in those days when Craig was on, but I've got some good shorts. I'm going to send them to you. I'm going to post them in my group and say, attention, Donna. Craig specializes in that stuff. Okay. He's got on his website, he's got a picture of him and his big dog with his tongue hanging out. Okay. Because it looks funny. That's him. And he says that's what he wants people to feel good about him. You've got the ammo for that. Over to Tom. Tom, I believe that you are in a position as well to have a cult following.
I wouldn't go that far, but I do understand that there has to be a balance. There's nothing wrong with sharing, like Donna's story about traveling.
Hold on, okay, come back to that. 20%. I told her 20%, not 80%. 20% personal stuff.
No, but not 20%. It has to be specifically something that would
relate it back.
Yeah, it's somehow relatable or somehow relevant that people would get into it. You just can't like say to yourself, okay, I'm 20% of my LinkedIn is going to be stupid, funny social media about my family.
Not stupid. Okay, it's interesting stuff about her family and singing, and maybe some of it is lighthearted. But I think so. I think they could get to know her personally. Okay, she told me the first thing she does when they got a new hire is spend 3 hours on Teams with the person doing an onboarding. And she told me it's awful. Okay. You need something to balance that off.
I think it's awful. I do provide entertainment, and sometimes I'll read the handbook in different voices and things because it's so boring. I do try to make it entertaining.
I'm trying to claim that Tom is in a good position. He's got Tom, I'll tell you why Tom, I think, can build a cult following. He's got he's got a niche. He's got a strong niche. Okay. He's got a personality, a lively personality. He's not boring. Okay. I don't think he's got it in him to spend 3 hours with somebody giving them an onboarding, quite frankly.
Oh my God.
Okay. So he's got a lively personality. He's got a niche, and he's kind of fun, so I think and also he says he's got a reputation for delivering. Now, that's with his clients. I don't know if Tom, do you have a reputation with candidates in your market? It's hard for me to tell because you talk to lots of people that don't know you, whereas someone like Gavin says he makes it his business to know everybody in his market, every candidate.
I don't make a business to know everybody, but I am known, like you said, I guess the cult following. If someone says, hey, I need a metal building engineer, or hey, I'm a metal building engineer, I want to make a job change, everybody would say, call Tom, I'll ask you.
Oh, yeah.
So I have that following.
Do they say, I worship Tom? He's a great guy.
No. And I don't want anybody worshiping me.
I don't worship him, but I do talk about you. And when I talk to recruiters, because I probably get pinged by recruiters, maybe even more so than candidates right now. Not just wanting to work with me, but asking me questions and things. It's been really weird lately. And I recommend Animal. I recommended you. I've told them they should come on the show or watch it. And Tom, I recommend him too. And because I am overwhelmed by how many recruiters, some who have been in the industry for 20 something years, and they're not networked with anyone. Like they're not connected.
Oh my God.
They're only learning from the people, right? Well, they're only learning from the people at their company, and that's it. And I was like, I wouldn't even ever learn how to do the job well if I hadn't, reached out beyond the walls, because my boss only wanted me to know this much, right? Because the minute I knew this much, then I'm out.
You can move on. Exactly.
Right.
I got an argument with somebody yesterday on Reddit because they were like, you can't use SalesQL and Apollo to get phone numbers. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about?
Must have been European.
I mentioned that, and they said, no, it doesn't matter. You're a scammer. I'm like, what are you talking about? These people are in your own little bubbles. It's wild.
Yeah, that guy was a loser. Okay, I'm going to tell everybody, if somebody in the modern era is thinking that somebody can't find your email address or personal phone number, or it's terrible if they do, you are a dinosaur, okay? And you're too sensitive. Look, there's a company that in the States, the government went after them. What they did was they built weather sites and different kinds of, very useful things. People would go to those sites and they would able to identify them, right? They could tell Donna, they know where she lives, and they'd sell that information.
Tommy's done that to me. He's looked and he knows where I live.
Okay.
He's found me.
Okay.
Yeah, but I know how to stalk and find. And
Okay, but
everything.
they
I
sell
don't
that
sell
to
it.
third
I
parties.
don't sell it.
You don't sell it. Okay. Yeah, thank you. Good to know.
They sell it, and they were selling it to government elite law enforcement agencies. So you can visit the weather site. The next thing you know,
Upstairs
you've
on
got
the end table. $4.
What are
Sorry
you
about
selling? You selling stuff on the online while you're
that.
doing
No,
the show?
I picked up my son's prescription and I forgot I didn't have you on mute. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm getting a terrible thunderstorm here, so
Oh,
every
really?
time I make a grimace, it's because of the lightning.
Oh,
So
good.
it's
You're like a puppy who doesn't. I like lightning and thunder. Okay.
That's because you don't live in Florida. It's dangerous. It kills people here.
Okay. Okay. But you know what?
Yes, it
Look,
does.
I'm building up Tom as a cult figure. He don't even
Right.
show his face. When he showed us something, he was like in a basement or somewhere like that with a bear bulb. Anyway.
Look, he was in the shower. We're not gonna ask him to change that behavior.
He's in the kitchen making lunch. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So let's get down to some. I like the idea of building. That's from Peter Thiel. Everybody, by the way, build a cult, not a company. And that used to be a big deal. Build a cult following. Build a cult following. Okay.
I don't know.
Like Harley Davidson.
I think the younger generation is a bit jaded by all that, though. I mean,
Kidding? They've got those influencers with 1 million followers.
yeah, but they don't differentiate. Wait, just hear me out. They don't differentiate from where they work. Like where they work, they feel like this is where I do my work. You should pay me for the amount of time that I work. You shouldn't want more from me. This is it. And yeah, they'll follow the influencers, to the moon and back, but they draw these lines. I don't know. They're different.
Donna, something's
They're
wrong with
different.
you. That's normal work. Nobody feels normally like they're in a cult unless they work for a really exciting company, okay? Most people don't. They don't say, geez, I'm with ABC Bottle Cap Company and we are doing something big for this world. They don't have passion about their work. But if you're a recruiter, you can build a cult. I believe you have to have a personality, though. I might be wrong about that, okay? So, okay. I'm gonna move on to some real toughies. Okay.
Is Amy Miller a cult person?
Yes, Amy's got a cult. Okay, but she's got a cult.
Amy's got a cult.
She's got a cult of haters as well as fans. Okay, and maybe
but that's part of it. That's part
she's
of
a polarizing figure. You're absolutely right,
yeah.
Donna. She's a polarizing figure.
I talked to my son about that last night. I said I need to find some ways to be somewhat controversial, but it's difficult because I'm not on my own.
That's not you. Okay. I met her when the Recruiting Animal Show was her first big social media venture. Okay. 15. I can send you her. And so the thing is, over the years, she's become much angrier. Okay. She was always feisty, but people, say, oh, you put Recruiting Animal in his place, right? Now she fights with everybody. Okay. So that's what she's known for, but she's got a huge fan following on LinkedIn. I think she's I would
never want to be like that. I would never want to be fighting with people, constantly about stuff. Like it's okay to get pushback, but
no, I like it. I think it's good, but I think she'd actually seriously gets upset. I think she.
That's what I mean. Like, why?
Okay. Now, you guys answered this question, and this was a real question from Daniel Pink. He's a famous psychologist. Can a recruiter be a night owl? Apparently, 20% of people are night owls. 15% are early morning people. Now, Tom is a night owl. And Donna is an early morning person. But the thing is, if you're a night owl, what hours does a recruiter have to be awake to work? Early in the morning or late at night? I mean, is there preferred hours that a recruiter's got to be performing?
Yes, business hours, right? You have to be able to, make the phone calls when the companies are open and whatnot. And then you also need to be able to work after hours to call people who can't talk
Okay.
when.
Yeah, you said you go to bed at 3 a.m. Okay.
Yeah, I know, but I have a lot of clients on the East Coast, right? So a guy gets off work at 6, gets home, takes a shower, has dinner, and wants to talk to me at 8 o'clock his time. That's 11 my time, right? So that's why I'm.
Aren't you on the East Coast? You're on the East Coast.
I said West. I'm sorry, I meant West Coast. So yeah. So I don't always go to bed at 3. Last night I went to bed at 2. So sometimes 1, right? But and I was up at what was I up at 8 this morning. But so really it's you got to be there for core hours, right? We always talk about core hours. It's 10 to say 3. That's when people are working. That's where managers are around. But then you also have to be available after hours because candidates can't talk while they're in the office. You want to get past secretaries, right? They get off work at 5. That's the best time to call a CEO is 5:30 when the secretary is gone and he's still there. So
Donna gets up at 5. When do you start calling people?
Oh, not till 9. Maybe it depends on if I know them. If I don't know them, not till 9.
Okay.
I know. I wish I could work earlier. Yes, it would be lovely.
I actually have a problem these days. I wake up in the middle of the night for a couple hours. I go through some kind of cycle. Okay. And
Probably menopause.
Maybe.
menopause.
Menopause. Okay.
Menopause.
Okay. Listen to now. You got to listen closely to this one. The candidate, this is a recruiter talking. My candidate got a great offer, but his mother persuaded him to stay loyal to his company. What can you do? His mother at the last minute. Now, some recruiters will say, look, is there anybody else involved in your decision making on this, right? So they want to know if there's a spouse. Am I right about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've had it be parents before. Usually dads, though. It's usually dads. For the lower level employees, they'll run things by.
Tell me a story.
Okay. I had one, it was great. Actually, her dad gave her great negotiating, tactics, and she ended up getting an offer that went about, and she was a lower level employee. So it went about 10,000 above what the company had said their bands were. She just held out and negotiated well, but her dad was guiding her every step of the way. So
how did you know that the dad was
like you said, talked about it. I knew where she told me that she was talking to her dad. I had another one years ago.
What did you ask her that revealed this? Did you say, Susie, is there somebody else pulling your strings there?
Well, I think it came about talking about more personal stuff, like where she lived, that she still lived at home. Oh, her dad was doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like it was much more, it was not as direct, but it got to that information, but just in the course of getting to know her.
Well, I don't know. I would have never caught this. A mother telling her, "Oh, you want to stay where you are." Tommy, what about you? Would you know about the mother?
So yeah, that would have. I can't even on that one, right? That would have been.
What would you say? Listen, Billy, what kind of man are you? How old are you? Okay,
no. I wouldn't do that. What I would focus on is the loyalty issue, right? Like start talking about in this day and age, who stays around for the gold watch? There is no more pension plans and retirement plans that are company funded. There is no loyalty. Companies will come in at the drop of the hat and fire an entire team without nearly a how do you do, but then they expect employees to put in 2 and 3 weeks notice. Like it's a power imbalance. And if you're going to live like this, I'm going to tell you right now, it's not going to end well for you because the company has zero loyalty to you. And you giving them loyalty doesn't do anything for your career. Now, you can believe me or not, but your mom is looking back to when her husband had this loyalty and he got the gold watch. He retired at 65 with $1,000 pension a week and they got to retire. That ain't going to happen anymore, bro. Let's move to the real world.
Okay. You know what? There's 2 issues there. Hello, Rich. There's 2 issues. Okay. There's one with this loyalty issue and the other is with the mother. You have to tell him.
No, dude, you cannot attack the mother. Are you insane? Like attacking the wife. Come on, man. Are you married?
No.
Exactly. Okay, there you go. So don't even you attack. Okay, you can attack almost anybody except for my wife, my mother, and my kids. My mom's dead, right? I will die, my last dying breath protecting them. So do not go after my mother. That's insane.
Look, okay, Rich, You
What
got a candidate. Are you awake, Rich? Yeah, you're awake.
Wake
He
enough
just
for
got
this.
done. He just got done his Illuminati meeting.
Yeah.
No, we were talking about you. I'll come back to Rich about the cult of Rich, okay? But okay, you've got a candidate. You've got a okay, Donna. You've got a candidate. He gets a good offer, and then his mom tells him not to accept it because she wants him to stay. He's better off staying loyal at his current company. How would you address that issue? You heard me talking to Tom. Maybe you figure it out.
And I didn't know what that exactly was about. You got to tell this candidate that, listen, you got to, how old is this candidate? Is he 18 or is he like 30? So let's assume he's an actual adult, but either way, you got to have a conversation about, listen, are you excited about it? On a scale of 1 to 10, where's the excitement? Is it a 10? Is it a 2? So you got to walk him through the whole process. And then, listen, it's your life. Your parents come from a different generation where people stay at a company and they don't ever move. So wasn't
exactly what I said.
No, it isn't. It isn't the same.
There's
Because-
one big difference I heard, but what were you gonna say?
Okay, he said you can't listen to your mom. That's what he said, something like that. She's from another generation. Tom just said,
no, it's how you phrase it. It's the
Yeah,
wording.
he didn't say listen to mom. He said it's from
It's
a
not
different generation. That's what I wouldn't attack the mom.
no, it's not
Attack
your
the idea.
it's not that you can't listen to your mother, your parents. It's that, listen, it's a different generation. They didn't like that generation, assuming it's an older kid, adult.
how old's his mother? Okay, she's not
I don't
90.
know. Is this like a 12-year-old going for
I
a
don't know,
job?
but she's not from World War II.
Why? Who knows? Like my mother is. My mother's 80. So I don't know. I've had this conversation with people where their parents, like grown adults who are like,
Your mother, you're not 20. Sorry, Rich.
yeah. Well, you didn't say it. Is this kid a bagger at the grocery store? Or is he like a fluffer on a
I
porn
don't
set?
know. I don't know about that.
So we got to know we don't have enough context. So, but either way, assuming it, what is Tommy doing?
This is a young person. This is a young person. Donna, what were you going to say?
No, this is I don't know, you might hate this, but one thing that Tommy said that Rich said differently. Rich said your parents are from a different generation, and Tom said your mother's husband would have gotten that gold watch. And I know that's like a tiny little thing, but assuming it was, and I know he didn't mean it that way, and probably in that generation, it probably was the husband and not the wife. But anyway,
Rosie
that
the
was the
River.
difference.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I was going with more like that's
Just
the
saying.
like.
But
kinda
that
like
was a
the
difference. I
standard
did
when we
notice
think
it.
about
No, but Rich
old
said,
days.
too bad we can't have an instant replay, but he's had something. Well, he said something like, who's running your life? Okay. Didn't you say that?
That it wasn't the words, but it's the right sentiment. It's your life. But it's all how you word the word track's important.
He said, how excited are you? What's your are you excited about this? Is this something you're really interested in? Is this your dream? Put your mom and everybody else's opinion aside. Is this your dream job?
You got to go to this job every day, not your mother.
No, but he said it's your life. That's what he said. It's your life. That's putting a line between me and my
That's not
mom.
the words I used, but that's the sentiment.
I think it was the words you used.
Not the words I used, but the end of the day, listen. Like my mother thought I was crazy to take this stupid job as a recruiter. You're gonna go,
too.
Like they don't. She's still my mother still doesn't understand what I do. So
I would have brought that up then. You think my mother didn't want me to take this job, and I'm telling you the same thing. You've got to make your own decisions, okay? It comes down to it. You got to make your own decisions, Billy. It's your life.
As long as you come across as detached from what's in it for you, but what's in it for them. It's all about making it, so they see, hey, this is where you've been excited about. This is where you've been happy. Like, why? What's the downside of taking that job? You don't like where you are
Those
now.
are great points. If the one was you're the one who has to go to the current job you're at every day, not your family member. And I'm never going to use the word mother. I'm going to use family member or something like that. I'm not gonna, because you can't trash the mom, man. I'm telling you. I don't care how pissed off he is at his mom. You cannot. You could be as mad as you are as your mother, and somebody comes in and says your mom's a bitch. You're gonna turn around and kick the shit out of her.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it ends up. Oh, Donna didn't like that, Tommy.
No,
The-
Donna's got a storm there.
No,
She
I-
got a storm. Well, she's the mom. Okay, I was wondering about that.
But
too.
you know what? But the end of the day is, if you trash the mom or talk crap about them, it now it looks like you're making it. You're kind of trying to gang up. You're trying to talk him into it. By having him talk himself into it, it's going to stick. If you talk him into it, he may accept it today, but he's never showing up.
I like what Tom pointed out when you said, let's measure it on a scale of 1 to 10. Do you like this job? So to make it, yeah, I like it. However, I would also agree with Tom. If this was a spouse, I would say it was much more iffy, because if your mom doesn't like you, it's one thing. She's still going to invite you for dinner. Okay. If your wife or husband is there to bug you day and night about what you did, that's terrible. That's a time bomb. Okay.
Yep. Yeah. I
Donna,
mean,
You have to
want
be
back
very
in on-
careful, man. You just have to be.
Donna, would you tell your
What?
kids what to do? And what if your kid didn't listen to you? You're the mom.
What about their careers, about life?
Yeah.
What are we talking about? They
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
always listen. I always give them my input, but I also tell them that I push them out, because I tell them I'm not supposed to be running their show anymore. They need to grow up. So I'm not trying to run it for them. I'll present them with opportunities, but then they have to do it. If they do it, great. If they don't, oh well. But I'm
Okay,
not.
but if the recruiter said, look, you can't go by your mother's standards, would your son get upset? Like, oh, like Tom's, it's offending my mother, okay? She's a goddess.
you're missing the point. You keep using the wrong wording.
Well, I don't know. I don't think so. Okay.
I-
Donna, mom?
No, I
Mom,
mean,
if you-
it's like what I said before. If somebody was actually being disrespectful towards me or something, yeah. But just to say that, oh well, no, it's fine.
You
What
cannot.
does your mother know? This is your life, kid. Okay. It's
They'd
time
probably be more
That's a
irritated
vapor
that
prince.
they
Okay,
probably would be
continue.
more irritated being lectured at, or someone calling them a kid. That would probably irritate them more than that they crossed their mother.
Okay. But you know what? It's not just necessarily people in this age group talking to a younger person. There's lots of recruiters who are only 25 years old. It could be a peer, right?
That's true.
Okay. That I think I like the way Rich said, make the kid or the young person. You know that the person obviously wants that job, but get him to say it again. And I don't know, is there a downside? I don't think that's as good a question. Is there a downside about this job? So maybe there was something. Maybe it was less stable or something like that. I don't know. But is that an issue? When you make a move, there's always a risk involved, right? Does anybody ever talk about that?
Well, there's always a risk, but I mean, if there's a reason he went this far in the process, there's something he's not happy about at his current job.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So we got to talk about that. And you should have gotten that stuff at the beginning of the conversation anyway. Why even look?
But the mom is like this time bomb. She got a photo op behind them there. All of a sudden she's wrecked everything. Okay. Anyway, so the company, now they want to do their own search, and they ask the recruiter, send us all the names of the people you've spoken to already, so we don't go over. We don't go.
Yeah, now, is it a retained search? Is it a
I mean,
contingent
he
search?
had an engagement fee, yeah, and somebody else told them, if you've got a retained search, the client typically receives all of the collateral generated, everyone contacted, their responses, their reasons for moving or not moving forward. Is that true on a retained search? They own all that information?
Yeah, depends on your contract.
Yeah, depends on contract.
Well, we're talking about standards. Well, is there a I didn't know that, but it's possible on a retained search.
Struggles for a CEO search, maybe.
I mean,
not
even
first.
Hydrix, I don't know if Hydrix going to give you all that unless you have it in the contract. Like everything we get, we're going to hand to you.
Yeah,
But you guys email 300 or 400 people at a time with all this tech that you're always buying, okay? So you're not going to give out 400 names and contact information to your client? No way.
I mean, the end of the day is they have them all on LinkedIn anyway. So it's not like you're giving them any real big state secret. You give them the contact. You may not give them the contact information, but I mean, at the end of the day, you still got to reach them. Everyone's got the same. Everyone's
How
got the
would you
same.
tell them no? Sorry, I'm sorry. No, I can't do it.
I mean, I signed my contract. No one's ever asked me, and I would never do it.
Oh, there's nothing in your contract about that. Donna, got an opinion? Donna, got an opinion?
No, no opinion because I only worked contingency when I did that, so I don't know.
Okay. Okay, Rich, I was talking before about the apparently Peter, you know who Peter Thiel is, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. He
The
says
big tech bro.
if you've got a startup, you should be building a cult, not a company, okay? And only hire people who feel that they're part of a movement that's going to change the world in some way, and they're really excited about that more than the money. Is that true?
That's the dream. Hard to
It's
do.
not true. Okay, it's not true. Then
I think I didn't realize what you were talking about earlier on, but I think there's a balance too. One of my biggest clients I always tease, you have to bleed green, right? That's like their color, but it's not a cult. It's just that they buy into the mission of the company.
Cult's a strong word, but like
Yeah.
Tableau was a company that was people were all about getting the why. You know, you were there because you were there for the why, not just for the paycheck. But the people we placed there and the people that went there, they all made millions because they all worked together and built this dream company that they're still searching to find another one like it today. It's a rare find. What? Can you not hear me?
I can hear you. What do you want me to say?
I'm multitasking, but yeah, I can hear you.
Hardest man in the world? No, Animal's looking at me like he's looking at himself in the
I
mirror.
can hear you. Yes, I can hear. Yeah. Yeah.
You weren't interrupting.
Okay, Rich.
Something was wrong.
But Rich, I think on this show, sorry, I know you're a very modest person, but there's a cult of Rich here, okay, on this show. Have you tried to create a cult of Rich with your market? Okay, like Gavin sort of tries to, it's a cult of Gavin. He knows everybody and they think he's a wonderful person, and
you're using cult.
I don't think cult's the right
strongly.
And I don't think Gavin has done that. I think Gavin's got people that like him. I think we all have people that like us, but I don't know if Gavin's got a cult following of any sort, or any of us do, really.
Amway has a cult following.
There you go.
Elon Musk has a cult following, right? You might say even Trump has a cult following. That's a cult. Gavin, me, Rich Rosen, we have an influence that people look up to us, but no one's going to kill themselves if I tell them to, right? No one's going to give me millions of dollars or defend me. If I'm wrong, people are going to say, Tom, you're wrong. You're an idiot. That's wrong. Cult followers.
Yeah, but you know what he means. You know what he means. He's using the word. You know
look where we went on that, Donna. The straw man argument. Nobody's going to kill themselves.
Cult is a strong word, man. I'm not going to buy into cult.
All right, use a new word. They don't like cult. But you guys know you're popular, okay? The musical Wicked. You want to be popular. You're very popular. People like you. They want to be your friend. They want to do what you say. If Richie Rich says that, I'm going to do it.
I told these guys that Donna could make herself a cult following because she sings, she's got a nice family, she goes around the world to save her kids' health from health problems. She could do it. I believe she could. But you guys, I guess you don't realize that cult brands was a major thing before. Maybe it's before your time. David and Mar, you're going to rescue me? Cult brands. That was a goal, like Harley Davidson, Coca-Cola. Those are cult brands, and there's no reason a recruiter can't have a cult brand, okay?
And you understand he's not saying that people were killing themselves over Coca-Cola. We all understand what he's saying.
If I could not get Coke, I may kill myself.
It's not the Kool-Aid, yeah.
I haven't bought Pepsi in 5 years. The only reason I would ever buy a Pepsi is if I was in a place that didn't have Coke.
Can I tell you though? It's fine. We were just talking about this yesterday. We were at where we were, but they only serve Pepsi, and I forgot how much I hate Pepsi. It's no longer like
it's like soup.
It does. It tastes disgusting. It doesn't. No, that's like bad soup. It's just not good. I don't even know why.
What Coke do you like? Because I only drink Coke Zero exclusively, not Diet Coke.
Yeah, it's like Diet Coke, Coke Zero. Yeah.
No, it's not the same. No.
Coke Zero tastes too much sweet. It tastes like real Coke, and I can't drink real Coke. It's too sweet. Coke Zero tastes just like real Coke to me. It's hard.
But you go outside of the U.S., you only get Coke Zero.
Like, oh really?
It's
they don't have.
Well, in Costa Rica was Coke Light, is what they call it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I like.
Look where it went, Animal. Look, you've lost control.
I
No, I don't
Lost
think so. I
control.
don't think so. But I come. You guys are come alive. You're in the Pepsi
Wait.
generation. You don't
No.
remember that?
Animal,
No.
hang on.
Can I have a
Tommy,
Coke? Is Pepsi okay? Is Monopoly money okay? Because no, Pepsi sucks.
My mom calls it the P word. She'll go to a
So-
restaurant. She'll be like, "Do you have the P word?" And if they do, she won't have it.
So, Tommy, hey, I've got a tool. I don't know if you play with this one, Tommy. Have you play with Spark, Spark desktop email?
No.
It is. I've been playing with it for a little bit. It's an absolutely super inbox, like email. It just keeps everything so organized. Like only see it. Just that you should check it out. It's a free download for I don't know how many days or
Wait.
whatever.
Does it work on Outlook?
Outlook or Gmail.
Hold on. Tell us again. What was it? I wasn't listening.
Sparkmail.com.
There you go.
Sparkmailapp.com.
And what does it do? What does it do?
You can use it as it's just an easier Outlook or Google inbox. It's just more organized. You get a lot more. It's just a lot easier to track new stuff that's coming in.
Is it free? Is it free?
I'm using it for free right now.
There's a free
Yeah, you get everything for
premium
free,
individual
okay?
and a premium team. It's cheap.
Yeah, but it's just
So-
it's just an easy way to track and keep and just get rid of crap. So you can get rid of all the junk in your.
Don't you have Focused and Other set up in your Outlook?
I have other. I don't have Focus.
I have Focused and Other set
I
up in
never-
mine. So Focus
yeah.
is all my work
That's-
stuff and Other goes elsewhere.
Yeah, mine's. I've got just the main. Yeah, I've got Focus and other. Yeah. But I've got so much email. It's absurd.
Well, I have 610 unopened emails right now.
Okay, I got some. You know, the
3,710.
What?
show's almost over. I got some issues. We can save them for next week. But I like some of these arguments that people have with their clients, and I'd like you guys to come in on this. Is that all right?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Sparkmail.com. Okay. We have a client that wants to fly in a candidate for a final interview. Okay. They want me to
No.
pay for the travel. Okay.
There are so many flags and alarms that go off. That's like not even a conversation. That's a simple no and don't say anything else.
Yeah, exactly.
They
Yeah,
said
Okay, unless you've paid me a 1/3, a 1/3, and 1/3 retainer, and I'm billing you for all expenses, then we can talk. But contingency recruiter, no way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The clients, the companies said, look, we never told you to get us a candidate who needs relo. Okay.
Who cares?
That's a shitty recruiter.
It's a shitty client and a shitty recruiter.
Yeah, both. That's good
No,
point.
I don't think it's a bad recruiter. Maybe you had to go to the ends of the
Are
earth
you
to
serious?
find the right person.
What do you pay for relocation expenses? Have you ever relocated anybody before? Do you have a relocation package? When's the last time you relocated anybody in? If you don't ask those questions,
about-
you're an idiot.
How about you're interviewing the guy? How far along in the process is it that they realized the guy was not next door to them?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think the answer there is, look, I'm working. I'm a contingent recruiter. I'm working for nothing. Okay, I'm willing to deduct the airfare from my fee
No,
if you
you're
actually hire this person.
No.
Stupid. Let me risk more time and money for you to make all the decisions.
Yes. I think that roast was right. Do you start every email with "I'm sorry"?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, bro! Like what? Like clients are.
Yeah.
I know people
How
have
they gonna
time to
do
the clients.
that?
But don't let them rape you. Come on.
If it's within the United States, how expensive can they? The airfare is pretty cheap within the country, isn't it?
It'd be $2,000, $3,000.
Yeah. I mean, if they're going from Salt Lake City to Denver and it's 2 weeks in advance, it's $100. If they're
Yeah.
going from California to Chemung, New York, and they're going to connect through, it's $2,000.
If we wanted to upgrade our ticket from Charleston to Boston, it was going to be $2,000. That was yesterday or Monday.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it was
Okay.
$39 to go down there, though, so it was great. But no, it's just the principle of it.
Yeah. It's
Like,
that's it right there. The
I'll tell you,
principle.
it actually happened to me a long time ago. The client was flying a guy in from Florida, and it was this cheap ass company, and they wanted me to pay for it. I'm like, "Is this the final interview?" And they said, "Yeah." I'm like, "Do you really like the person?" They said, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Don't you think you should pay for the airfare then?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "So why are you asking me to do it?" He's like, "Well, because you're the recruiter." I'm like, "It's a contingent search." I'm like, "Listen, probably if you're worried about the $300 fare, probably not the right candidate for you, because you're going to end up coming in cheap."
Did I remind you that my fee is going to be $21,000 and you're worried about $300?
Yeah, this was 40,000, but it was principle is still the same. It was still, listen, If you can't afford the airfare, you can't afford the candidate.
That little drop was Rich building his cult.
There you go.
In case you wanted to
Thank
know.
you for noticing, Donna. Thank you.
Okay.
They didn't pick up on that.
Final friction question. Okay. A client hired a technical salesperson from me. He's been there 100 days, right? Around 3 months. The guarantee is 120 days. Okay. They want to let this person go. He has exceptional references. I met him. He's very sharp. He's got a great.
What's the reason? Just get to the reason.
Well, he's got a great personality.
Awesome.
I think it's just the ebb and flow of sales that's affecting his production. It's not because he's not a valuable hire. Okay, so they want to keep him while I find this is the person's. This surprised me. They want to keep the candidate while I go looking for a replacement. I said I'm not going to find a replacement while my candidate's still working there. If he's good enough to work there, why do you have me looking for doing a free search? What would you guys do when you think you believe in that candidate, and then he raises this other issue? Anybody?
What's the other issue? I don't get the second issue.
The second issue is if you don't like him, fire him. If you're not going to fire him, I'm not doing a second search for you.
Yeah. I mean, the whole point. I mean, listen, if you know they're going to fire this guy, there's real reasons to fire him. It's one thing. They're just giving you a heads up. Hey, we are getting rid of this guy. They got to tell you why.
He's not producing. He's a sales rep, 3 months. He's not producing any revenue.
Yeah, but 100 days 90 days isn't a long time to produce. And it depends. What's the sales cycle? How big is the ticket? There's a lot of reasons why he may not be producing.
That's what this guy says. How big's the sales cycle? He hasn't had enough time to make money. Okay?
Yeah, I mean, it depends if it's a $2 item or it's a $200,000 item.
Okay, so let me just take this. So let's say you're arguing this rep is good. You met him. You believe in this candidate. Okay.
Yeah.
Bye, Donna. Okay, you believe.
I was laggy too.
Okay, you believe in this candidate, and they want to fire him. Are you going to argue with them?
Yeah, I've had that happen too. They fired a guy because his mother died. Army Ranger, retired Army Ranger, and then it went on. We ended up in a lawsuit, and we ended up finding out that she fired 2 other people because they got cancer.
Okay, that's crazy. Okay,
but it was the same thing. It was within the 90 days.
Yeah, but these guys are raising an issue. He's not doing his job well. That
was their reason too. They're like, well, it's not that his mother died. It's that he's not doing his job. I'm like, really?
Sounds like a major lawsuit.
Bingo.
That is like totally illegal.
Yeah, 100%. This lady also got knocked up by her CTO, and she was married to someone else. So, lovely human being. We found out
Liability.
Yeah, seriously, just a little bit.
Wow. See, I always wonder
insane.
if these stories that Rich tells us, they're just different stories about the same crazy client, or if he meets so many odd people.
I've heard. It's so funny. I never realized how crazy my clients are until I was at a Pinnacle meeting, and one of my buddies was like, "Dude, you have got more crazy fucking stories than anyone I've ever met." And I really do. I could give you stories from the last 6 weeks that would knock your hat off.
David M. Marr, do you have something to say before we finish the show? You haven't said much. You still looking for a job?
Yeah, this month is insane. The market since the elections ended, so since I got laid off at the beginning of October, I've had probably like 40 interviews, no joke. Initial interviews in like 19 companies, 2 or more rounds. And I literally in the last 2 days just had 7 more pop open.
Wow.
It's definitely, and the quality of the postings is of the companies that are hiring and whatnot, and the pay seems to be back to semi-normal. So it's very
40. You've had 40. Did I hear that correctly? Yeah. Now, does that make you the best interviewer in the world, or just so?
No, it just means that companies are being very selective because there's still a lot of talent on the market.
No, but I mean, you're used now to answering a million different questions or the same questions. Are you really good at it now, or are you just so jaded and tired?
No, I don't get tired by this industry. I love this industry. It actually energizes me. So probably just like Tom and Rich, I can probably tell.
Houses. That's what it is.
Yeah,
you got to build
I
a
love
cult.
this industry. I
You
love
gotta build
talking
the
about this
cult of
industry.
Dave.
I love this.
You guys aren't branding yourself well enough. David and Mar, you too low key. You got to do something
Well,
quirky.
I'm not pushing a sale. I'm not on the agency side, It's different.
You're selling yourself. Okay.
Yeah,
come
but
on.
I don't have to
I
sell.
got, you know what kills me, Dave, though? I mean, there's internal recruiters that I work with that I wouldn't hire to clean up, the bathroom.
I understand exactly where you're coming from.
I always say answer my phones. I wouldn't let them answer my phones, let alone.
No,
recruit.
I mean, there's guys like yourself. There's another buddy of mine that I goes to my gym who's a stud internal recruiter as well. And I'm like, how are these two guys like out of work when I dropped the client last month because their internal recruiter was just so useless and so bad.
It's because companies, I think it has to do with like the Peter principle. Companies, promote to the least level of competency, and the people that they end up keeping in a lot of cases are not necessarily.
But they're useless and they don't know any better. Or they're too busy to replace, and they don't realize how many, like this particular internal recruiter. I know for a fact she cost this company at least 2 hires just of mine. And how I tried to explain to and one of their board advisors, and they're just like, they just didn't care or they didn't do anything about it. I'm like, you guys are, what a waste of time and money. I don't know. It nauseates me to see good people sitting on the outside and, these
If
idiots.
you're a
Also, I
candidate,
think when they're this as good as Dave Marr, companies like get a little scared because he's too much like us, right? Like, is he going to come in and steamroll and he knows more than we know? And like, how is that going to affect? Like, sometimes they can get scared, right? Especially if the guy you're interviewing with is your direct boss and he's also talent, whatever, and you're better than him. He's not going to hire you.
A lot of companies though will hire you for. It doesn't matter, the fact that you have more experience. The smart ones know what they know and what they don't know, and they want someone that can come in and basically elevate their teams. I'm a utility player at this point, so I basically can morph into, what is that quote by Bruce Lee? Be like water, whatever, kind of like that.
You made a good point. Good people, like I would love to have 10 recruiters work for me that were way better than me. I would love that. I would love to surround myself with people better than me. It elevates me, and it's smart to do. No one's taking my job, right? But I would love to have people better than me.
it might take your clients. It might take your clients. Okay.
Yeah, they may.
Yeah, but if you
hold
take
on.
care of your people, and they're trustworthy, they're not going to do that.
Okay, but if you go into you go to an interview and you say, you know what, I have a regular meeting with top agency recruiters, and they tell me, they wouldn't hire some of these internal recruiters to clean the bathroom. Okay, I'm not that guy. Okay, could you actually say something like that? That's real life feedback. Could you actually tell somebody something like that?
Someone's going to get offended because that's what people do, especially in talent acquisition.
Yep.
I always coach my cans when they talk to TAs. I'm like, you just got to go and blow them kisses, smother them in butter. Every question. Oh my God, that is a genius question. Oh my God, I hope my kids are as smart as you. Oh my God, that's beautiful. Oh my God, it is so true though. God.
I think my single biggest issue whenever I'm dealing with TA is I've screened a candidate. If you talk to a candidate that I just recruited who's a passive candidate, you ask him why he's looking to make a job change, you're going to fuck everything up. So if I can have that conversation with a TA, then I know they know what they're talking about. But if they don't understand that, then I know that they don't know what they're talking about, and I either won't work with them or figure it out.
The other thing that I've experienced internally is some recruiters don't know how to work with agencies, or they view you as not as a partner, but as like enemy.
They do.
Yeah.
Listen, there's the internal recruiter who doesn't understand how to work with the external, and there's the external doesn't understand how to work with the internal. And if someone's paying like Tom or I a retainer, why do you need to rescreen my candidate? What a waste of time and energy.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
And then if the internal person, everything's a threat, which is like childish. And then you've got them that they just don't understand. They don't know their own questions to ask. is the problem. So they just block people. Like I had a lady block someone, the same idiot I mentioned earlier, block someone because they're like, this guy is just he's asking too many questions. I think he's just fishing for competitive intel. I'm like, you're a $7 million startup. I'm like,
What
he should be
intel could you have?
Yeah, I mean, seriously, this guy has sold more than your entire company's worth. I'm like, why? Like, I mean that it's just like the stupidity gets to be too much lately. Like, I am all for working with good internal recruiters. I love, quite frankly, good internal recruiters. They really can streamline the process and make it smooth and easy. But man, some of these people just do not understand reality. So it's just painful. So
Okay, one last thing. With Tommy said something that they would screw it up if they asked the passive candidate why you're looking for a job. But in fact, I would normally say that, but Ernie says that to passive candidates. And the guy says, well, I'm not looking for a job. He says, so Ernie's got a follow-up. You're talking to me. There's got to be a reason.
So I say, I know that I called you. What would motivate you to leave your current company, or what would motivate you to make a job change? That's what I say when I talk to a passive candidate.
Okay, but Ernie does it differently. He provokes them, right, and to lure them into a trap. That's how he does. What do you mean? You called me, okay?
And then he's like, "Why you're talking to me?" Like, I don't want to get in too much of a controversy or adversarial. I may do that as a joke, but I'd much rather, because a lot of times you hit them with a rebuttal. I'm happy where I'm at. No, you're not. Blah 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 blah. And then finally, okay, I'll talk. You start talking. Somebody, why are you looking to make a change? And then, dude, you just fucking hit me with 2 rebuttals. Now you're asking me. I told you I didn't want to make a change. I don't want to get into that.
You know what? I like that one you just gave. I'm happy where I am. No, you're not. No, you're not. And I'm going to prove it to you. Okay.
Yeah.
Give me 5 minutes.
That's when you tell them, hey, listen, that's the best time to look when you don't really need to look. So that's when it's like, listen, that way. Listen, if I can get you more money, even a better opportunity, better boss, better career path, better X, Y, and Z, what's it hurt? Expand your
It's actually
risk reward ratio.
Rich.
Finkel risk
It's
reward
not
ratio
Z,
rebuttal.
said.
I'm not offering you a job. I haven't offered you a job. I don't even know if you're qualified. Takeaway, right? But from what I can see, you have a great background. My client might like you. I don't even know if they'll like you. Takeaway again, right? Like you just do that to kind of you give them a little bit ego boost, and then you kind of knock them down a little bit. Ego boost, knock them down.
Okay, everybody. That was a great show, it turned out. It had different segments. First, it was the Donna inboarding segment, then the regular team, then the Rich excitement, Minority Report segment, and then a few little follow-ups there. Richie Rich Rosen, Rich at cornerstonesearch.com. I'll advertise this show next time. We didn't get time this time. Tommy, the Recruiter Roundtable. You can look it up on LinkedIn, and you can attend his show at 12:30 Eastern on Fridays. And David M. Marr, internal recruiter extraordinaire. He's a utility player. Okay, thanks. Good luck, everybody. Goodbye.